Oh shoot. Oh. All right. Let me know when we ready. Mm-hmm. All righty. What's up? Thank you for tuning in for another amazing week of the Joncea Show. I don't know why this show is not syndicated somewhere huge. It is one of the best shows. And let me tell y'all something. I'm a Joncea fan. I don't really know how I can explain this, but I go back and watch everything I do. And I am a true Joncea fan. Like, I go back as a fan. I'm like, this girl is so fun and so funny. I have like out of body experiences. And I'm telling you, I literally this morning watched my birthday show where Kanisha, it was her first time being on the Joncea Show. It was so funny. I watched it this morning while I was getting dressed. It was so daggone funny. I'm like, yo. So I know today's show is going to be so funny, so awesome. We're gonna open up about a couple of things that people may or may not have known. Our friendship through the years, just different life changes and different things like that. How we got here, where we are now in life, and everything like that. Let me introduce to you. I know I say this every week. One of my favorite people, but y'all know that this really truly, if you've ever followed me and like follow me, like this truly is one of my favorite people. Like I can't get away from this girl, even if at times I wanted to, I could not get. I'm telling you, this is my ace boom coon right here. Like really a really strong piece of my heart. On the couch is Miss Kanisha Bus, and my second favorite, little person out here is also Miss Kalina Harmony Johnson, a.k.a. Bean, is in the house. What's up? Hey, Beanie Bean.
What's going on, bro?
You look so cute.
Thank you.
Let's see your shoes. Who that on your shoes? Who is that on there? Let me see.
Is that Minnie Mouse?
By the way, disclaimer. Kalina does not like cameras, okay? She is not here for this. She reminds me of Northwest. She's not here for none of this, none of the camera stuff. And when she walked in, no lie, y'all, she was like,
Y'all
She
set
seen
me up.
She seen me, and she was like, and I was like, hey, Bean. She was like, no, I know what y'all doing, and I'm not doing it. So today she probably won't talk. I know all y'all probably think Bean is super slow. Bean is not slow. Bean plays slow. I'm telling you, that's why I have to sneak and catch her sometime because the girl is one of the most brilliant human beings I know. I've never, ever experienced anyone like her. She is like...
Let me tell you something. So we've been in testing with Bean all week. So I'm trying to, because her comprehension, everything is through the roof. Her speech, I do have her in speech therapy. So she gets in there and acts like she's... Like, if you ask her more than one time the question, she be messing with these people. Like, the fact that she's whispering, the lady was like, and Bean sings, she talks. So they're trying to, ask her questions and stuff, and she's whispering, and the lady goes, I can't hear you. So Bean starts moving her mouth with nothing coming out. Like, so well, can you hear this? And I'm in the background going, I'm going to beat your I swear. Then, have a seat. No, and then so they're asking her questions, and so she already told them once, okay, this is a bird, this is a dog, this is the sound they make. So then they go back and ask her again. So now she's switching them up. Now the cat's barking. She's she's pointing to the fish, going, oh, that's a horse. And they already said, I was like,
you can let her go though. You can just let her be. She
gonna do whatever she want to do.
Yeah, she too.
And so now they're like, what do you eat, the sandwich or the bee? She go, the bee, knowing that. So she shuts down. So
Kalina, you went to the doctor and was showing off, pretending like you were slow.
Yep. She was. And then, because they also test for autism, all these type of things. So they ask Q questions like, does she line stuff up in order? Which is a sign of autism. They're always lining and organizing. Let me tell you something. Ain't never lined up and organized. So right after they ask me the question and I say no, she grabs a bunch of balls, goes right in front of the lady and lines them all up. And I'm sitting there going, I swear when we leave here, I'm gonna, because she does everything because she knows what she's doing. And then the lady, she shut down altogether. father, and I've been showing this online forever. Bean will completely ignore you like she's not there. And the lady is in her face, and Kalina's going, and the lady's just laughing. She's like, she's going to be great as an adult because she knows how to tune people out. She's like, she doesn't like to be poked and prodded. But a lot of Aries are like that. They do, what for y'all don't know, she is Aries.
Team Aries.
They do what they want to do on their time. They don't care about consequences. Because when she get in trouble, she'll walk herself.
Don't do that. You know my mother listening.
I know, Mom. What are we? They don't care about consequences. Bean, I come in there. She got stuff everywhere. I was like, and then she looks at me and starts spanking herself. I'm like, you know what?
First of all, I just want to explain to people. Bean is an Aries. Kanisha's a Taurus.
Man.
Bean's father is a Leo.
Yes.
Okay? I am an Aries. Yeah. My mother is a Taurus, and my father was a Leo. So watching their little life and their little family reminds me so much of me with my parents is so daggone funny because Kanisha and my mom act exactly alike. Y'all are like, oh my God, that's how I know how to handle you. Know, that's how I know how to handle you.
Yeah.
Because I had this Taurus mom my whole life who just, oh gosh.
All the time you be like, you are Renee.
She got me the other day. She said, guess what she said?
What?
Yeah, because I really got a taste for a sub. By the way, y'all, that's my mom's voice. She sounds like the nanny. I really got a taste for a sub. You know, because every time I get subs from these other places, it's not like the places where you have a sub. I said, Mom, sub is out the way. Like, the sub place is out the way. And it costs. And the gas price, like, I'm saying all this stuff. She was like, well, okay. Well, maybe just don't get me a sub until my birthday. That'll be a great birthday gift. Her birthday May the 9th.
I know, a day before me.
I'm just saying. How you just going to say that'll be a great birthday gift? You know what you're doing. You know good and well I'm not about to make you wait all the way to May to get this one sub.
I know.
She know. I was like, yo, y'all, and I just be letting y'all go ahead and fake manipulate and all that. But when I get sick of it, I call both of y'all out. I be like, stop it. Stop the manipulation shit, right? Stop it. It's like.
Well, I mean, the stuff that we got to put up with y'all, so I feel like the sub is working. You know what I'm saying? Oh
my God, my poor mom. I be looking back in my life when I was younger like, yo, what the hell? How does she even not give up? Just completely say, you know what? Now, I don't care what y'all do with Joncea.
That's how it be already.
Too.
Yeah.
And she too.
And she been here, but remember when she was like 3 months and you looked at her and she was up doing something, you was like, I thought you was tired, and she looked at you and went, and fell straight out. And went like this, she just, oh my gosh, she don't care. And she do
all types of stuff
it's hilarious. She's hilarious. And now she's
by the way, she's super funny, y'all. Bean is hilarious. Like, you know she's gonna be a clown.
Oh yeah.
You know she's gonna be a clown. You want your fruit, Bean?
She just slows down in front of the camera, but like if I go to the bathroom, she'll put a raisin on the toilet when I get up and start yelling, "You boo booed, you boo booed." I mean, like, ain't nobody.
Bean, you got your chain on. Let me see your chain. I never seen your chain before.
Show her your necklace.
That pillow really getting to you. Should we put the pillow to the side?
Okay.
Let me see your necklace. Come here. That's cute. Let me see what it say. It say, Kalina. That is so cute.
What do you tell your auntie? Is she mouthing? I'm telling y'all.
She's so funny.
And if you could catch her off guard, she does the most. She sings.
Did you say sing?
She got her piano.
Kalina.
You ever speak in sign language?
Yeah, she knows sign
language.
Sign
language. Her and Kanisha know sign language like a mug.
Yeah.
So, my mom's had a daycare for my sister's 19 now, so 18 years.
Uh-huh.
I've seen every kind of kid in the world.
Yeah.
Usually kids that the doctor be saying like, oh, maybe. Usually they're smarter than the doctors.
Yeah.
Can even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen these kids pick up. My mom has this little girl. Everybody's telling me, oh, something's wrong with this little girl. And you would think this. So we sitting there building Legos.
Yeah.
I fancy myself a creative person. So I make this little card thing. I bullshit, I turned around. This little girl made a truck with a towing part, with a house on the back. I'm not making this up, that she had stuff in. And I'm like, and she probably has 7.
Yeah.
I looked at this, I'm like, what in the... So, like, I don't know what that is.
Because a kid is like a sponge. By the time, from 0 to 5, you can teach a kid anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's how the European testing is set up. is not conducive to especially black kids that are.
It's still not set up even in college. Like all of that mess you got at PSATs, that shit.
I went to college and I ain't never take a SAT. I just want people. I ain't taking this shit, and I didn't take it. Hey, I don't do well with testing, especially true or false.
Hold on, Kalina.
I need.
I need this mic.
When you got a what's it called? Essay questions. Because one thing I can do is bullshit. So I'm gonna get a half a point. You know, I be getting so many half of like effort points and stuff like that.
This interview is, you can tell, straight up friends. We have to get back to interview. We gotta get back. We gotta get back to the interview to stay. This is a talk show, but hold on. She want this mic.
Okay.
I just want everybody to know that this microphone right here, no matter if you can sing or not, makes you sound amazing. And every kid and their mom has had this microphone or should have had this microphone. And I just want to just let you know, Kalina, I bought you this microphone yesterday because I know how much you love to sing, but I want to show the audience how great this microphone makes people sound, okay? Real fast before I give it to you, okay? So watch this.
And Kalina can sing.
No,
and
she
play
can sing.
Guitar and play piano.
And play the piano. She's very.
And she closed her eyes. We playing the piano with her eyes closed with one hand, the other hand in the air, singing. It's crazy.
But I just want to say, Kalina. Now watch this. Kalina. You see how much better the mic make you sound? Here.
Can mommy try? Thank you. She's a good share. It's the doggish, ruggish bone. That's our song. Sing it for mommy.
And you know good and well.
That's her song. The first of the month is her song. If you turn on first of the month, she's getting turned. Let me hear you. Did you hear her? Wake up. She know already know. Where you going?
She's like, I'm about to go away from this camera. You know what I'm doing. Can the camera see her? The camera can't see her, can it?
Come here. Come here. Show mommy. Are you going to sing?
You can sing louder than that. We ain't playing with you today. Let's get into this.
Sing Twinkle Twinkle?
Let's get into this Joncea show. If you are watching on my Instagram, guys, go to YouTube, put in the Joncea show live, and you can watch this live. This has been great. Hello, shout out to everybody that is in the chat and everybody that is watching right now. Good morning, guys. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kim. Hey, Mr. Hall. Treese Talks, what's up? What's up, Jay in Dallas? Maya, good morning, sis. Tiara, you guys are in here today. You guys are in here. What's up, Lee?
What's up, y'all?
What up, Lawrence?
She gonna sing while you're talking in this.
What is this? How you pronounce your name? Wait a minute. Hey, how I pronounce this name right here, Nick? What's up, Dana? Dana, we still have not talked. We need to talk. We need to talk, Dana. You need to call me. Kanisha gonna be eating at McDonald's. And she gonna be mad. Because we not letting her plan her own party. She's gonna be pissed and we don't get on it. I still
gotta give you this.
Yeah, you ain't on it either. Yeah, all right. No, it's really all right. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody. I'm sorry that we're just getting started. For real. No, she said no. She's not gonna sit down. To the Joncea show. My girl Bean is in the building. Oh, now she want to sing. My girl Bean in the building with Kanisha, but let's get to some tea. Let's get down deep and dirty. Let's just go in. Okay. I'm gonna start. First, I'm gonna start by saying that you were one of the first people that I met when I moved here to LA. I think I met you a weekend. We're gonna go through this real fast. We met at Red Grant's birthday party. We discussed it the last time you were here.
Even though I keep saying it was outside the Laugh Factory and I was wearing that blue dress, but you.
I remember being at Red Grant's birthday party and you had a blue dress on.
The reason is because I had that same dress on, and at the Laugh Factory I had it on with pants, and at Red Grant's I had my legs out. So I think that's why I had the same outfit.
I just remember choking. Because there was so much smoke in there. And you was like, I was like, and you looked over and was like, girl, we all choking or whatever. And we just started talking and laughing or whatever and say who we were and everything like that. So fast forward a little bit. You had a roommate. We're not going to say no names, but you had like a roommate who a lot of people know. And she had a tendency to fall out with everybody that she came in contact with. And I don't know what it was with y'all two, but y'all had like fell out. And I think you moved out and this and that, and y'all weren't friends. But you and I were friends first, and you introduced me to this particular person.
Yeah.
And me and this person became good friends too, cause she befriended everybody, and everybody was friends with her until they weren't.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess that's just how it goes. But whatever y'all was going through, I just didn't want to be a part of it because I was both of y'all's friend, and I remember making the decision to not be in that because that's just who I am.
Yeah, and I didn't ask anybody to be in it either. I just. Yeah.
Kanisha is lying. Kanisha does not like. Look at your face.
That's not true. You can ask.
Kanisha don't like nobody. When she don't like nobody, she don't want her friends liking them.
That's not true. You can. A lot of people called me on that situation. A lot of people, and I'm not going to say any names, and asked me, "Is it okay?" Because this person had services that a lot of people were using, and a lot of people called me to make sure it was cool, and I said yes to everybody. The only reason why I felt like you didn't like me anymore, and had teamed up over there. That's what that was with us.
Let me tell y'all.
But you had, and when
we
are
about to sound like we in high school. We're
you
not.
Went back home and I had a lot of stuff happen that I didn't know, but I thought that was you ignoring me. And then when we finally talked, you was like, I wasn't even in the middle of that. I was back home and a whole bunch of other stuff had happened, but I thought that she was ignoring me. And see,
this is the thing about me, y'all. Like I said, I was the baby of 6. There was always beef and things like that. And I was too young, and I never wanted to be a part of, like, I'm not the person that be in anything messy. Yeah. Even if things go on and it looks like it, I don't want to be a part of anything messy. Even if I'm cool, I just felt like I was too old to be a part of whatever the heck y'all was going on.
Yeah.
Whatever. So anyway, fast forwarding, guys. Kanisha and I got a show together on All Deaf Digital. She's fine. She's 2.
Well, I don't want it to be the whole background as her.
No, she all right. She all right. Twinkle, twinkle. Well, she got a microphone. But anyway, let me get back to some scoop. So Kanisha and I got a show together on All Deaf Digital. And we hadn't talked because we were like really good friends for years. And then it was like a pause for maybe like a year. I don't know.
A little longer than a year.
See, I don't even know. I don't even know. But I was still really good friends with her her other friend, and they had stopped being friends. So the only reason why it may have seemed like me and you weren't as cool is because I was cool with her too.
Yeah. But
her and I used to like do favors for each other, and I thought she was my friend. Whatever. However that worked. Her and I aren't cool anymore. No, no shade to her or whatever. Everybody just grows apart, and she goes so hard, and I had to like let her go just because I go harder.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like it or whatever. But me and Kanisha ended up getting the show together, and we had this like long talk because we hadn't talked. It was almost awkward.
It was.
The first meeting that we had together with All Deaf Digital, and no one would have ever known that if they looked at the show. It was one of the most awkward. I came in there, and it didn't feel like you and I.
Yeah.
It felt awkward, and of course, the whole All Deaf, everybody that had something to do with this project was all in and
they
so
had
happy.
No idea.
They had no idea.
We hadn't spoken in damn near 2 years.
We hadn't spoken. But we had not spoken, but we hadn't spoken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we weren't like, because me and Kanisha used to be like cool. We were like, we would be going out and we were cool.
Yeah.
And for like, I didn't even know it was that long though, 2 years. 2 years. So we hadn't talked or whatever. So I just remember walking into a meeting, okay, that clearly I did not know anything about. Everybody was there an hour before me, and I'm always on time. I'm the on-time person, okay? Everybody was there already, and I'm like, okay. I walk in, and everybody's looking like, okay, we're having this discussion. Okay, so we're trying to figure out whose name is going to go first on the show. I'm sitting here like, what? I don't care. Kanisha's name can go first. And then everybody's like, oh, well, shit, that was easy. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all was having a discussion before I got there or what. But I was like, I don't care about stuff like that. Yeah. Like, that type of stuff, it doesn't matter who's first, last. We still got this show or whatever.
They didn't mention it till you got there, but yeah.
Yeah. They did not, yeah. We didn't even know. we knew what the name was going to be, but we didn't know who was going to go first, and we didn't know what we were going to be doing as far as we had to pick the categories of what we wanted to do.
We planned everything very awkwardly.
Yeah. It was so awkward. And then that day, we had like a 3-hour conversation in the car.
And I was like, look.
We had a 3-hour conversation, and it was just like, communication is so important.
Yeah.
Because, and mind you, there was no Bean, by the way, yet. This was a minute. This was, guys, this was a minute ago. But this was literally right before Kanisha versus Joncea. Yeah. And we had to have this long conversation. If we didn't, that show wouldn't have been
awkward. The show would have been terrible. You wouldn't even known that meeting, because you know how I usually be laughing and clowning. I was mad serious that whole meeting. Remember,
it was just awkward all the way around. I know it was the same way.
Yeah, we both was just,
was like,
maybe this, maybe
all
that.
right, well, we could choose this. We could do it. We were the petty bitches that we are. Yeah. No, but the thing was, we were it to each other, and I don't know. How did we get? Was we in my car?
We were in your car.
I had a truck at the time.
We had the truck.
That's
we
right.
Sat in there,
that burgundy truck that girl totaled.
This is what I've been feeling. And you was like, no, this is it. And because you was like, I'm not even in the middle of like that.
I was like, girl, I was not in the middle of none of that. Like, that ain't even like, but for real, I just be going on my life.
Yeah.
Every day, if so many people, Kanisha, if you only knew so many people drop out of my life or has dropped off or take a chill or whatever, I swear to gosh, it be coming to a point where I don't even really be noticing and recognizing, because I be moving. I got shit to do. Even when I don't got nothing to do, I got something to do. You know what I'm saying?
I know now, yeah.
Right. But we had this long conversation, and we got everything out of the air. And at that time, I was still friends with her, remember? Yeah. And I told you, I was like, I made a decision to be friends with both of y'all. And, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be a part of that. But I don't want us not to be cool. I don't want us not to be friends. So we ended up talking it out. And we ended up having probably, if not, they hate when I say this, so I'm not going to say it, the best show
ever. Do you hear me?
On All Deaf. That's still, if people don't even realize that show was shot in 2017.
And they still asking for season 2 every day.
I don't know why we haven't had a season 7 by now.
Yeah.
But the thing of the matter is, people had no idea. Stop it, Kanisha.
Yeah.
Leave Bean alone.
Mom eyes. I've been waiting to use mom eyes.
No, you can't use mom eyes in front of auntie. I'm like, get off her. I'm like, stop it. Leave her alone. Like,
you want to sit on my lap?
No. Okay. Tell her, Bean. Let me tell y'all what Bean did one day. I'm trying to tell Kanisha I'm an Aries. I've been an Aries for 40-something years, 40 plus years. I've been an Aries. I'm trying to tell her how her daughter acts, the different things her daughter's going to do. No. Kanisha is always feeling like sorry, like, no, don't bother her, leave her alone. But Bean be going hard. Bean be going hard on me, and I'm like, I'm gonna go hard on you, cause I know that you know what you're doing. Like, Bean walked in my house one day. She walked in my house one day, walked straight by me. Leave Bean alone. Okay. She walked in my house one day, y'all. Walked straight by me, ain't even speak, and ran over to Miss Janice. Hey, like she knew what she was doing. So I was mean to her the whole time she was at the house. And Kanisha kept saying, can you stop? She's a kid. And B kept on trying to be my friend. I was like, girl, pull up, please. You better get out of my face. No, you wouldn't speak to me. And Kanisha's like, she's 2. She's totally forgot that she did this. And I'm like, all right. So I became this girlfriend. That was one day. We at the house about maybe, I think, was this a little bit around Halloween, somewhere around there. We at the house. And Bean jumping up and down on the furniture. Kanisha had said, stop jumping up and down on the furniture so you won't hurt yourself. No. Bean going, wait about 20 minutes, jump up and down on the furniture again. And I said, Bean, didn't your mother say don't be on that furniture to get down? So Bean looked at me. She gave me this look. She got down, but she gave me this look like this. Like, super duper pissed, right? So after she gave me the look, she did everything in her power to get my attention. Remember?
Yep. Everything.
She did. I mean, she was trying to be friends with her other friend. Her little cousin was there. I mean, her older cousin was there. Demi. They only like a year older than each other, but I'm playing with Demi. I'm ignoring Bean completely.
And it's making me furious too. Like, stop ignoring my child.
I'm ignoring Bean because I know how Aries are. Bean wanted to curry me or swerve, whatever the word is on the West Coast, me so bad because I told her to get down. And I'm telling Kanisha's like, stop ignoring my daughter, man. And I'm like, no. And you can tell she Bean like tapping me, Bean doing everything to get my attention, right? And I said, no, Kanisha, I'm not about to give this girl no attention because all she gonna do is be mean. I know what Bean about to do. Kanisha's like, no, she not. And I swear, y'all, I didn't for like an hour. I'm ignoring a 2-year-old. And Bean doing everything in her power. And I looked over to Kanisha, and Kanisha's like, for real. Stop it. Leave my baby. Don't do that to the baby. So I was like, all right, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to do exactly what you said and give your daughter some attention. But watch what your daughter do. And she's like, she's not going to do that. She's only 2, Joncea. Man, I was like, oh, let me see Bean. Bean was like, psh, psh,
and went like that and walked out.
She waited a whole 2 hours. Just like I said she was going to do. She was like, psh, like, you better get out my face. Like, and Kanisha was like,
I couldn't believe it, yo, because it was so cold. Because she would really wanted to be your friend, I thought. And the minute and the way she hit you with the,
she did like this, turned her head.
And Kalina, stop jumping.
And roll out and did not talk to me. And I said, now I was, and I'm still pissed on the law. I bring it up to Kanisha all the time.
She was like, she
Because
got
I
me.
said, the fact that she went up on me, yo, I don't like it. My pride right now, the fact that B is one of, even though she 2 and ain't even going to remember it, the fact that she was one up on me when I had her. Because of her mother, I'm like, man, I know this girl, man. I know I'm an Aries. Okay, that don't have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
So let's get into it. First off, let's talk about how Bean got here. So I shot an hour special. I'm going to talk real fast and go real. So I shot an hour special in D.C.
Yes.
This was 2018, maybe?
Yeah.
About 2018-ish.
Yeah.
So Kanisha
17,
featured for me. We fly home to D.C. or whatever. We ended up staying an extra week.
Yeah.
Because we got booked on some other shows.
Yeah.
So you and your boyfriend at the time, who's Kalina's dad.
Yeah.
This why your mom ain't want you to come. I fought for you to come and you wilding out. She said so.
You want your iPad?
No, I don't want to wild out. But so you ended up. Let's tell the story about how you ended up.
Okay, well, what it is too. Remember, right when I got back, I went to Vegas. So it's like I landed from D.C. and I had that show in Vegas, and I had went straight to Vegas. And right when I got back, me and her dad had gotten to a little disagreement, argument type thing. So I left mad and went to Vegas, and that's why I didn't come home for 3 days. And so he pacing back and forth. I'm not, you know me, I'm not calling, and he not gonna call me. We're both very stubborn. So I come home, it's a whole bunch of flowers everywhere, 10-page letter, all this type stuff. I remember the exact day I remember looking back, going, I don't care. Like, I remember getting pregnant. And even in the doctor's office, when they gave, because originally she was supposed to be born May 8th. A lot of people don't know this. Her original due date was May 8th. She came March 26th. Did not care.
And the reason why is because the whole time Kanisha was pregnant, she was like, I don't want to share my birthday with no baby.
I didn't.
Yeah. She whined. And then her daughter came a whole goddamn almost 2 months early.
Almost 2 months early.
Because you shouldn't have came for her like that.
Because I already have. I've been sharing my birthday. Oh, God, thank you. I've been sharing my birthday with Mother's Day pretty much like that whole week of my entire life, right? So I didn't want to have my birthday and Mother's Day are already going to collide. So that always is going to be one thing. And in my daughter's birthday, Tauruses, we like stuff to be, but we like our special time. And I didn't want to give that to her because it would never be, it's about me again. And I want it to be about Mother's Day and me. So she decided to come March 26th. I wasn't pregnant at my baby shower. I didn't get no maternal pictures, nothing. She did whatever she wanted to do. So when they gave us the new day, when they gave us the May 8th, her dad, Leo's are very calculated. And I just see his face and he goes, you was in Vegas. And I go, it's a makeup baby. And that's why I was like, God, please let this baby have this nigga face. I mean, he could have did a DNA test, but I know that always was in the back of his mind. Like, we got mad, you went to Vegas, because he liked to calculate. He's good for calculating. And he was just like, Vegas, I was like, the makeup baby. She's a makeup baby. Like, I had to keep saying it. And I even told her, I was like, you can get a paternity test, but she got 6 generations of Johnson face. So that's
I never seen a person look so much like their father.
They're twins, okay?
I never seen a person look.
Mind you, I took a plan B. I got the video of me taking a plan B, clowning, everything. And her dad be like, I don't think you...
You miss being just like,
And me, I wasn't ready. Like, I just, like, financially, all these things, it wasn't lined up. I wasn't ready to be a mom. I'm almost 10 years older than her dad. And he always was like, man, you're getting older, you got to have a baby. He's always wanted to be a dad. So for him, you know, he was very excited. Even when I was like, I'm pregnant, he was like, I already knew you was pregnant because I'm having, he was like, I'm cramping and I don't even cramp. And he's touching his womb. He was like, I knew because I was having cramps in my womb. Well, in the area of where a womb is. Yeah.
No, you can't touch that.
No. Here, have a seat because you're doing the most.
Uh-oh. Mama's getting mad. You want to come sit with Auntie? Come on.
See, she's just going.
Right, she played too much.
So, but yeah, so that's how Bean got here, and you know, I hated being pregnant. I was miserable. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of difficulties with my pregnancy and just having the right after I had her, I went in the stroke range, so I didn't see her for almost 40 hours. She went straight to the NICU. Then I went home and ended up back because I was suffocating sitting up. I kept calling the doctor. Everything on me was swollen. They were like, it's normal. And then 3 a.m, I'm like, I can't breathe. We get there, and my whole lungs, everything is filled with fluid. And they have this thing called postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is a heart disease you can get in your last trimester or 6 months after you have the baby. So then I was dealing with a lot of that stuff. So we just, we had a rough little bump in the road. That's why she's not getting no siblings.
Kanisha is, do y'all know that friend that...
Everything happens?
Everything happens to them, no matter what. Like, that friend, like, you could do a normal fall, and you could just get up and just walk. And Kanisha does the same exact fall, and her leg just breaks in half. Like, she's that friend.
I have a dead person's knee because I was twerking in Mexico and snapped my knee in half. This knee is not mine.
Girl, always. So, let's get into it.
Yes. Well, I'm sitting here bald-headed.
Let's get into it. Okay, so July. Let's just start from July of 2020.
Yep.
Okay. Or was that 2021?
2021.
Okay, yeah. July 2021. We both have made it all the way through all the COVID stuff.
And I'm extra precautious. Like, I'm getting on your nerves how precautious I am.
Yo,
I'm not playing single game.
I mean,
I don't think I left
the house. You didn't let nobody even come over for a minute.
For months.
First of all, let's back up to when Kalina was born. It's like, no.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
why when Kalina was born, y'all? Kanisha had like Princess Diana in her stomach. She would say, all I know is when my baby is born, no one can come around my baby for 6 weeks. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, she said it so much that I made sure 6 weeks to the day. I did not see Kanisha's baby. Kanisha's baby came home when because the baby was in the incubator for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kanisha's like, come see the baby. I'm like, no. I'm not coming to see that baby until 6 weeks. And I know she was over that mug, suffering. This wasn't COVID yet. I know she was because newborns be tripping. Like, I knew it. You was like, come see the baby. I was like, nope. Not till 6 weeks. And you was like, I'm going to wait until wait till Kalina get old enough and I'm going to tell her how you would not come see her. And I said, no, I did what her mama said. I did. You was so
just to let you know, when that COVID hit, can't nobody come over. Do you hear me?
Hey, listen, I don't even think you let your baby father in.
Listen.
He lit it. But if you're watching on my Instagram, y'all, you go to YouTube. You can watch this live, the whole entire show. You can see Kanisha and me at the same time. I'm just letting you guys know that. So, fast forward to 2021. You go to all deaf, get tested, negative. Okay.
Negative.
You call me.
Let me tell you why I got tested. Her dad calls and goes, I think I have COVID. Well, and I'm like,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Slow down. You called me and asked me, could I watch Kalina while you film?
but this is prior to me getting tested. This
Right,
is
right,
so
right.
this is
I'm just letting you know. I wanted them to know. I wanted them to know what happened.
Yeah, so 2 weeks prior to the all deaf test, I was filming for All Deaf in the Room online, and you came over and watched.
Right, I came over and watched
Y'all
Bean.
was sharing Boston Market.
Girl, I had went to Boston Market because Bean is on a strict diet. When she's with her mom, it's like, no, playing. Bean is on a strict diet. Bean is a vegan. She's never had meat a day in her life. And butter. I know, Bean. I know. I hate it too. I do too, sis. I want you to eat what Auntie eats because it's. I know. I know. Don't worry. We'll be out of it soon. So, Bean, y'all see her. I know, right? Ugh. Bean's a vegan. Never had no flavor. Don't know life at all.
Mommy's a vegan chef. Go ahead.
See, look at her. Tell the truth, Bean. Tell her we want meat. It's like no. But me and Bean, we eating Boston Market. We sharing. You know, I'm letting her taste this, that, this, and that, this, and that. Whole time, Bean got COVID, and we don't know it. Yeah, you. Yes, ma'am. I got COVID from a baby and did not know it.
And Bean was pretty much asymptomatic. She had a fever for one night, and that was it.
Yeah, because kids can't really get it. So I didn't know. It was my daughter's first birthday. So I fly home. I hate the word granddaughter. So I fly home to the grandbaby's first birthday party. I don't know I got COVID. Kanisha calls me like, listen, Irvin had COVID. He had Bean. You should go get tested. And I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah. I was like, I'm good. I ain't had no symptoms, no nothing, right? I swear to gosh, the next day, I'm a little bit cold. I'm cold, but I'm over my godmother's house, so I'm thinking that maybe, she be hot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, her air conditioner had me downstairs freezing. Girl, I go to the birthday party. I give COVID to 7 family members. Don't even know I got it. Found out I got it, and oh my gosh, everybody's sick. You sick, you found out you got it.
So my first 2 tests were negative, so I had COVID 2 weeks before any of my symptoms kicked in, and every test I had kept coming back negative. By this time, her dad had already tested positive. He was mad sick, so I still had to have her because I was the least sick of the 2 of us, so I would put her in the room. I would try to be in the living room, have my mask, and I could feel this slow decline, but it only felt like a little bit of a cold. And so that 3rd test, when it came back positive, I still wasn't having my symptoms like that, and that's when I called you, and I was like, okay, now you really got to get tested because now mine's is positive, because the first time I told you it was negative.
And I said, girl, I just got me a little cold. I'm good. I ain't got no COVID. Because remember, people was dying.
Yeah.
And the way they painted the picture, everybody fat was going to die, period. You don't even have to worry about it if you was overweight. Consider yourself in a casket.
Yeah.
So everybody, I just want everybody to know who not fat. That fat people, we was scared as fuck to get COVID. That was an automatic death sentence if you was overweight. So that's how I knew I didn't have COVID, because I wasn't dead. You feel me? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just got a little cold. Because I'm still thinking you could get a little cold and shit, right? Man, I went and got tested and was positive. Those 5 days that I had my symptoms, I thought I was going to die. I thought, I can't even imagine people who have underlying issues, what they were going through, because I, just for 5 days, had everything you could have one day at a time. Pure diarrhea just running through me for one straight day. No coughing. The next day, body felt like it got hit by a truck. Boom. The next day, every day I had different symptoms, and my whole community was just amazing. Shout out to my cousin Laura, Tia, Tierra, my godmother Claudia, just people who took care of me like a mug when I had COVID, right? Shout out to Katrina and Tang, who bought me carry out all the time, my niece. It was people that was big time, even my brother went to the store. Oh my God. It was tragic. It was tragic. But mine was over. I literally flew home. I stayed in D.C. 21 days because my roommates were both in their 60s. I didn't want to get them COVID. But during those 21 days,
we're dying.
It was like,
I watched you get better, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Excuse my language. I was so jealous. Like, you was wrong. I'm like, yo, and the symptoms that you got one day, I had every single symptom every single day. I'm like sitting on this is kind of graphic, sitting on the toilet, holding her little baby toilet, throwing up, blood is coming up, the cough, I feel it in my toes all the way up through my body, the breathing. I can't lay, mind you, I didn't lay down for 25 days. I can't lay down because every time I lean back, it hurts. I felt like scissors, and that's how they found out we had Delta, because they asked about the lower back pain, and if it feels like kidneys and everything in your back is being ripped through like Edward Scissorhands, that's the difference. That's the biggest difference, to let them know that you have Delta. So it just feels like I'm dying from the inside. The only thing I didn't have, I had a temperature one night. That's it. But every other symptoms they think of, I have. So by the 15 days, like let's go to about my 9th day of like pure misery. 9-10 days of pure misery, because I'm scared to go to the hospital. I know, I've heard about how the ventilators are killing people. It's worse in the hospital. People don't know what they're like. I was scared, and everybody I knew was beating it at home. Her dad, all these people were beating it. So I was like, let me just.
And my whole entire family.
Everybody. And then the crazy thing is, a lot of comics had COVID and didn't tell people. So once you got it, it's like the secret club, because now everybody's hitting you like, yo, when I had it.
And telling us what to do. Yeah, that's true.
Because they didn't want other people to know they had it. But me and you share a lot, and I was very vocal. I was texting. I wasn't doing any videos. I could barely talk. And so I was like day 9, 10, because it all ran together. Mind you, I couldn't eat. I was watching you eat. And I was like, I could barely drink water. I could only drink distilled water, which was crazy. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I hadn't eaten for days. And then trying to take vitamins on an empty stomach, that was even worse. And I couldn't sleep. And then I just remember sitting there, and it was about 3 a.m, and I couldn't name anything in front of me. I could not name, and I'm looking like, okay, and I'm looking at the picture of Kalina. I can't think of her name. Sorry. I'm like, I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, I'm going to die. And the day prior to that, I was ready to die. Like, I was just like, I found a note while I was cleaning up that was like, I'm dying. Like, I wrote it to myself. And it was just like, I'm sorry. It's just like, I'm dying. COVID is going to kill me. And I'm thinking, I have asthma. So I know that it's a lung thing. I have an underlying issue, and I'm sitting here going, I'm dying in the pain. Your body is not supposed to be in constant pain from head to toe every single day for every single minute. Like, it's really hard. You don't want to survive it. And I'm like, okay, God.
Have one?
Yeah, sorry. I was like,
thanks.
The only reason why I was like, I do not want my daughter to not have a mom. And I'm like, and all day I'm like, my daughter's not going to have a mom. So when my mind started to go, because I ended up being drugged in the hospital for my mental state. When my mind started to go, I couldn't name anything in front of me. So it's 3 a.m, and I'm just rocking. I just remember sitting on rocking back and forth. Mind you, I haven't gone to sleep except for like in my computer chair, because I can't lay down.
Mind you, at this time, Bean's father has her, because Kanisha has full COVID. Like, it's no way Bean could be around her.
Nobody could be around me. And
right.
I'm sitting there in the dark singing the ABCs, because it's the only thing that I can remember, because we sing it all the time. So I'm just, for hours, sorry. Woo, shit. I'm just sitting there singing the ABCs like, this is it. This is my last day on earth, yo. This is it. Mind you, that's the only day. We're only 10 days in. I'm at home for 16 days. I remember Lulu had called me to tell me about Serene, Tony Baker's son. And I just died. Now, at this time, I have full-blown COVID pneumonia, and I have no idea I have it. I just think I can't talk and breathe because the coughing was so bad. So I'm like, but nothing is coming out. And Lulu's like, well, do you want me to call 911? I'm like, no, I can't talk about it because it's hurting so bad to cry. And so I get off the phone with her, and then I'm like, all right, let me do a video and let everybody know that I'm okay. And I get online, and I'm just like, and I'll post the video. I had just posted the video. I was like, hey, everybody, I just want to let you guys know I'm getting better. Because in my mind, I'm getting better because everybody else is getting better.
And I remember I was like, I remember I DoorDashed you or whatever you call it. All of the medicines that I had. I was like, Kanisha, you just got to do exactly what I did. You're going to get better. Remember, girl? And I recall you calling me when Serene passed away. Yeah. And I couldn't understand one word you were saying. I was still in D.C., I was still in quarantine, and I just remember you screaming but couldn't scream.
Yeah.
And you were crying, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying. You're like, Tony. Like, and I'm thinking something happened to Tony at first, and he was like, no, his son, he got it. And I was just like, call me back, just call me back, because I couldn't grasp what you were saying. I couldn't understand it, and it was just so much.
It was, and I couldn't talk.
At that one moment, it was just so much. And I remember after the 21 days, I flew home because Kalina couldn't be around Kanisha at all. Bless you. You're so cute.
But by 21 days, I was in the hospital. So let me get there, and then we'll go from the 21 days. So that's when I made the video. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and BT Kingsley called me because he had been on the phone with me. He's the one that made me get the oximeter. He was like, make sure he had been on the phone with me texting. No, nobody had really talked to me, baby.
Right.
And he calls me. He's like, whatever you're doing, stop and go to the hospital right now. I pack my bag. I get to the ER, and they were like, you would have not made it through the night. It was like, if you did not get here now, you would have not been alive in the morning. I couldn't talk. I went and I had wrote a note. I have COVID. It's been 16 days. These are my symptoms. This is what I had a whole note. It's like, I cannot talk. Here goes my insurance. I wrote a whole thing because at this point, like, nothing is coming out of my mouth. I hand it to them. They get me back so fast. Mind you, you got to sit outside. You can't even come in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a whole COVID unit, like the ET people, to get you to where you're going. And at this point, like, they're doing x-rays. They're looking for blood clots. They're looking for everything. Mind you, now, I have not laid down. And they said the reason why I couldn't lay down is because the pneumonia was so bad it was hurting me. And that if I would have laid down, it would have suffocated me and I would have died in my sleep. So, I'm glad I didn't find a way to lay down. You know what I'm saying? And so I get admitted to the hospital. And then I hit you.
You get admitted to the hospital and you say, yo, I'm in the hospital. They say I have pneumonia. And by this time, Tony's son had passed away. So we were already experiencing a death. Mm-hmm. I come home. It was... like I said, I was in D.C. for 21 days. I was only supposed to be there for 7. Ended up staying for 21 days. I call Bean's dad. Are you okay? Do you need anything? I'm thinking he's going to be like, nah, I'm good, this and that. He's like, Auntie J, help. Please. Come get Bean. Like, I can't. I truly... whatever the heck me and Kanisha, because at that time, y'all had already separated.
And I was lying about it. Everybody thought we were together. We weren't together the whole last year.
Everybody but her friends. I think they weren't together for like 6 months already, but
almost a year.
We're friends, so we playing.
Everybody playing along with
it.
Because people don't understand what, like, okay.
Like, how all of a sudden he just dropped out the picture. They had been already moved away from each other and all of that stuff. And I went to get Bean because Bean's parents are such great co-parenters. Like, y'all are like the best co-parenters I ever seen. And how they do it, like Kanisha does, like in 1 week, they both equally co-parent in a week, not just weekends and stuff. Like this one does this on Tuesdays, this one does this on Mondays, this one, I mean, it's so great. So basically what happened was when I came home, I became Kanisha. The things that Kanisha would do on her days, I did.
Including, I meal prep for Bean every day for school because of her strict diet. The meal prep, which is very expensive.
The meal prep. I was like, yo, I kept calling her like Kanisha. Like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, Bean only eats this and that. I forgot all about the meal prep. I had to make this girl real life meals every week, and I made them meals for her. But the thing is, Bean, before you even got sick, Bean was not... I wasn't Bean's favorite person, by the way. Bean wouldn't go to nobody. She really was just like, could take it or leave her, Auntie J. She'd be like, how sometimes, how not, whatever, right? But, of course, Bean's being 2. She's not understanding where her mama was. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling Kanisha, like, dog, I need to at least... Because by this time, you're out the hospital, but nobody can come over. What was it?
You went straight to out the hospital? Because even while I was, because I was in the hospital for a while, and that's when you started FaceTiming, because I wasn't there. You was like, you gotta FaceTime her, and I remember you had picked her up. Her hair was all matte. She has a lot of hair, and it's hard to do.
Oh yeah, because her dad didn't.
Yes, but the look in her eyes, because when I was still in the hospital when you took her to the birthday parties, when you were
taking.
You
were
I was
in the
still
hospital.
in the hospital. That's why I was like, you jumped. I was still in the hospital. They had no idea when I was coming home. They had an alarm on my bed because I literally couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't walk. Like at this time, my whole body was shutting down. My whole stomach was purple because I was getting heparin shots every day. I was on like 400 different medications. It was absolutely crazy. They had these things that on my body to compress to make the circulation go. They had to like walk me and sit me down. Like it was like me walking. It was just to sit down. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't, like, I was super constipated. And remember, I only went to the bathroom. I remember I was like, man, there's this fine ass nurse, and I can only go to the bathroom when he's there.
I do remember that.
And that made me so mad because every 30 hours, that's when I was going to the bathroom. They're giving me all of these things to make me go. It never worked. Now, mind you, ain't no TV on, ain't no music. And this man was so fine. Sitting outside the door, waiting for me to go boo-boo. And that everything is just coming out. He's like, are you okay in there? And I am dying. Like, why is this happening to me? Like, I just, you know how embarrassing that is? Oh, my God.
A little shitty. Was in there with the finest dude that got to wash her ass.
With no sounds to flood out, and when you don't go to the bathroom for 30 hours every time, it's a lot happening. And this, he can hear all the sounds, and I'm in there just like, sit down. And it's not like I can sing over it because I still don't have no breath. I'm on oxygen. I'm on everything. And then he still got to come and help me.
Did he have to wash you?
No, I washed my mother when it was time, because they asked you if you do a sponge bath. Mind you, when I had got there, my mental state, I was so frightened. I was naked the whole time I was in the hospital. Like they was like, no, you got to. I'm like, please help me. I can't. I feel, and so I was naked the whole time I was in the hospital. Like, and they was giving me drugs for my mental state because I was gone. I was gone.
Yeah, I remember you was like, I think it's best for Kalina not to see me.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I don't think that's best. Because you're Kalina, you're her mom, and she understands, from the very beginning, she understands that you're her mom and she hasn't seen you. I didn't understand why, like, the daycare didn't know you had COVID. Like, I don't understand why people was just like, not just you specifically, but like why COVID was like not even cancer, like AIDS.
Leprosy, like having.
It was like having
leprosy.
AIDS or something. Like nobody wanted to talk about it and didn't want people to know that they had it and all of this stuff and that. But being
she was traumatized. She had this look in her eyes. If you go back and look at the videos and the pictures, it was just this lost look. And I be looking at some of those videos, and it's just this blank look on her face. And even the FaceTimes and all that stuff, she got it because of the oxygen. So I was just like, owie, owie. Like, I was trying to figure out, how do I explain why I'm not there? And so every day we're like, mommy got an owie, owie. That's why she's gone, owie, owie. But another thing, too, like when people always ask me, well, I know you missed her so much. And that's a true and false statement. Because I couldn't allow myself to fully miss her, or I was already mentally messed up to... It reminds me when soldiers say when they go to war, they have to forget about their family so they can survive.
Oh, God.
And so I was pretending to miss being for other people.
Making me cry.
And lying about missing her for other people because I knew it would sound crazy. So when people ask me about it, or would be, the little bit that I could talk, I miss her so much, but it wasn't true because I was making myself, like, I knew I had to survive for her, things like that. But if I sat up and looked at her pictures and missed her, and I wouldn't have had enough strength to fight this thing at all.
Wow.
So,
wow.
It's, it was a weird situation to put my mind in. And that's one of the only real things I had control over mentally, because I kept going back and forth from this is dying, then it was like, no, you got to be positive. That's why I kept saying I'm healed. I'm like, and because you're really big on getting me to your words are your truth, your words. So I kept going every post, okay, I'm already healed, I'm not gonna complain. I sat up and went through my whole life. Sorry. I sat in the hospital and just remember going, if I don't make it out of here, I had such a dope life. I've done more than the average person. A lot of people don't make it to this age. I have loved. I've experienced loved. There's a lot of people praying for me and loving on me. So to go out this way, and even though it was sucked because I was alone, nobody could come visit me. I've been in isolation. I had made my peace with. I made my peace with dying in the hospital. And a lot of people felt that peace and got really worried about me. I started getting a lot of messages and videos from people that had wronged me in life. I start getting a lot of messages. It's crazy because one of the last messages the day before I got out of the hospital was from Nick. And he was like, man, you be getting more injuries than an NBA player. You got this. And just know we might fight and go through stuff, but we're still family. And me and Nick had a lot of stuff going on. And I'm hard with grudges. But he made me love him again, maybe be friends. But I still had some of that grudge. So I really wasn't responding to him the way that I should in the hospital. And he had checked on me a few times. And then right when I got out, I was on the phone with you and I got a text. And it was like, did you hear what happened to Nick? And I thought that they were calling me to tell me Nick had COVID. And I called, and I'm just like, okay, what, Nick's in the hospital like he got COVID too?
No, you clicked me in on that call because we were talking.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I think Nick's... And so we called. And Naeem's like, Nick died. And I'm just like... And I'm just, don't tell me that. That's all I could keep saying. Do not call my phone and tell me no shit like that. Do not call my phone. And I started screaming. And I'm on, mind you, I have oxygen tanks at the house. I have nebulizers. I'm on steroids. My lungs I can't be around anybody for a few more weeks. And I'm screaming and I fall on the floor and I'm just like, I cannot handle, like I can't. And then that sends me back to, a lot of people are dying around me, and I'm not out of the woods with COVID. I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm still messed up. They say a lot of people with COVID go home and die anyway. So now I'm still in this mind frame of I could be next. And a lot of people thought I was next because people die in threes. So everybody thought I was the 3 at this point. And a lot of people thought I was going to be that 3.
It was, the funny thing is, I knew you weren't going to die. But I didn't know who. I didn't know who was gonna die. I knew that everybody just thought they were next because we did not know, like nothing was wrong with Nick, and he just died. He had a heart attack, literally 2 weeks after Tony's son tragically got killed. So everybody was just on edge, like, and then watching you sick like that, it was like, I'm not gonna say that I okay, I'm not gonna lie and say that it didn't cross my mind that you may pass away, but I had so much faith, and I prayed to God that you didn't, because of this baby, who, you know, you're such a good mom.
Ooh.
You were such a good mom, you know, before all of this happened. And the worst thing would have been was to just her not know who her mom was. And the baby's, by the way, Kalina's sitting there watching us cry right now. I'm trying not to.
I know.
But she keeps looking at us. Golly, I forgot I was going to cry this much. Put on all this makeup.
I was like, I'm not about to cry. I made it.
But the thing is, at that time, it was just a faith experience to another level. It was a faith experience to another level. I was raised so spiritual, like church 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't even know how I even found time to have sex or sell drugs, Mom. Because you had me in church so much. It's like, shout out to my mom, who I know is watching. But Kanisha was raised a little different from me. So as far as spirituality and all this stuff, you had a huge experience. You had a huge experience with God.
Man, yes, and we could, and this is right after Nick, so we could go into that.
Nick, one of our friends, just out of nowhere, just has a heart attack and passes away. And then at Nick's funeral, Kanisha couldn't make it because she was on the oxygen
She's
and
still
all
on
that
the
stuff.
oxygen, still in isolation. Bean can't come home. I'm there for weeks after the hospital. I can't be around anybody. You guys are coming to
Bean
visit
still
me.
wasn't home yet.
No, remember Bean was
I
home.
don't
Bean
remember.
wasn't
It
home
was
for weeks. You guys were coming by. Remember how many times
30
you
days.
came to visit
Bean
me?
wasn't home for 30 days.
Outside and
Plus the 21.
yes,
So you didn't see Bean.
almost 40 days.
That's crazy.
Remember you guys were coming outside my balcony to visit me. That's the
Yeah,
only way
yeah.
people could come visit me, drop stuff off, pick stuff up for Bean was the balcony because at this point my lungs I have serious lung damage from COVID. I have a lung specialist now. And I'm actually doing a lot better because of the herbal therapy as well that I was going through with Willie because I walk a fine line between modern medicine and herbal medicine and trying to balance them out. And I have all this scarring on my lungs and I'm so weak that a regular cold could make me very sick, and we'll jump back into it once I finally got her back. She gave me a respiratory infection that sent me right back to the
that's
hospital,
right.
and I was
She
sick
did.
for another, brought
because
me back
we
down for 2
we
months.
like made Bean coming home this huge thing. like because everybody was pulling for you and you were like better. And as soon as Bean came home, it was
a spiral.
and you just kept saying, I don't want Bean around me because she could get me sick. And here I go. Your daughter need to be around her. She ain't gonna get you sick again. Goddamn, how many times you think you can get sick? Da, 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 da. As soon as Bean gets home, she gets her sick.
And I'm back in the hospital.
Which goes to show you that your mouth is your life. It's like, look, I did not create that.
She was sick for 2 weeks. She was sick for 2 weeks, and so she stayed with me. But let's back up to Nick's funeral. You held the phone for me the entire funeral. Not only the entire funeral, I can't miss out on nothing. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you don't believe you.
And you know how after and everybody's hanging out and kicking it, she had everybody come tell me hi on the phone, and I'm taking.
I literally was going around to everyone. Hey y'all, Kanisha wants to say hi. Hey Kanisha, like everyone, like
I was at that funeral. You hear me?
It was 3 of us holding the phone the whole time at the funeral, so she could be there with us, and she was sitting there. Right at the funeral with the rest of us crying and all that, like when we were crying. This was Nick's funeral. And then...
And at that, right before that though, so because I had a breakdown on social media and all this stuff is still up because I wanted to show everybody what was going on. So at this point, stop. People are passing away. Things are happening. I can't get a hug because right after this is, and right before food, this is where I have my spiritual break. So, at this point, I'm still losing my mind. They have all this medicine for anxiety, all this other stuff. My sorority sister ended up sending me a bunch of stuff for CBD. She has a CBD line that really helped me a lot because I don't want to get addicted to this anxiety medicine, but I am going crazy because now I'm isolated. I haven't been around anybody, and I'm a social person. People are dying. I can't be there. I need a hug. And I just started to say this video, and then all of a sudden, I am in shambles, having a full breakdown on live because I just want a hug. And I had never needed physical contact so much. And then I'm like, do you know, solitary confinement, I see why they go crazy in prison. I say, you cannot be away from people like that. You cannot be away from people like that. And then at this point, I just feel this transformation with God. And it's like, you're finally by yourself. I took away you being a mom. I took away for you to be able to, I had to face a lot of things in my life that I hadn't faced before. And it was no running around with men. You couldn't go get drunk. You couldn't go drink. You weren't distracted with being a mom, going out, doing comedy. You're stuck at home with every version of yourself. Mind you, I'm having a mental and outer body experience at the same time. And a lot of people don't know this, so I haven't really talked about it. So this heavy presence of God is just it's like this divine intervention of who I am comes into play. And there's a lot of things I didn't tell my mom that happened to me when I was younger. There's a lot of stuff. I met my dad after 25 in a federal prison, and a lot of stuff I would have been protected from if he wasn't there. Me and him are cool now, but I never really told him everything. There's stuff with different siblings. There's people in my life. And after I go through this whole thing, God is like, it's time to shine. You need to face all this shit and let go of all of it because you've been harboring it. Because a lot of people don't know comedians come from very dark paths.
Absolutely.
We have very dark childhood. It's a lot of stuff that people that know my coming up and stuff are very surprised where I am to this day. And if you look even at the rest of my siblings, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My aunt always goes, I thought you were gonna be trash, piece of shit. Like you growing up, I'm just so surprised to see where you're at. So my dad calls from prison and I'm crying like a 3-year-old, yo. And I am telling him everything. And actually, let's back it up. Help is where it started. The word help.
Oh yeah.
This is where it all started.
Because I was like Kanisha, because at this particular time, Kanisha couldn't work, which means her bills couldn't get paid. She was sick. She didn't have her baby. The baby, I mean, I don't think the baby needed nothing because whatever the baby needed, we got for the baby. But the baby still is a baby.
Yeah.
Baby still requires stuff. And I was like, Kanisha, let me tell you something. One thing about me, and my really close friends know this. I'm very transparent.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
If it's not going to hurt anyone, I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I say, Kanisha, for real, you just need help. You need to really ask for help.
Not.
Kanisha's not going to ask anybody for help. She's not going to let you know. She reminds me so much of my mom. Like, when they are down and messed up, my mom would have died if somebody didn't call me and have me get to the East Coast. She's just, oh, no, I'm fine. It's okay. They're not going to do that. And so I kind of was like, Kanisha, just ask for help. Just try it.
And you were like, put something on social media. Because mind you, at this point, the doctor, nobody knows my lung damage. I know I can't go back to work for 6 months to a year. They already told me that I'm going to be in the house. Like, I already know this. How am I going to work? I work by doing comedy. I have no lungs. I could barely talk because I'm still, lightly talking. But, I get really tired, really winded. I'm still on oxygen. We don't know, And mind you guys, I'm a long hauler. So we're going 9 months in and I'm still not fully recovered, And you're like, just write something on social media. I'm writing this long. And you're like, no,
God.
just ask
It was
people
so long.
for help.
I said, just say help, yo.
It was the hardest. You don't even understand that post. Well, was so hard for me to put up. I remember Keon Poley sharing the post going, yo, if Kanisha says she need help, she must really need it. I remember him sharing it and saying
because everyone's different, but the word help in your life was connected to so many different legs. Me and my friend Maya always talk about legs, things that are connected. It was connected to so many different things. Pride. The word of God says pride comes before a fall. Like, you are already fallen as low as you could go.
Man.
You couldn't do anything. Like, you needed to get rid of pride. You needed to let out what your family did. You know what I'm saying? You needed to talk to your dad like,
and let everybody know about the breakup, because then a lot of people were bashing him because you guys had went and got my apartment clean. You guys, and they're like, well, where's her dad at? How come, why does she need help? But
why does Joncea have her baby?
What?
Ooh, y'all was pissing me off.
Oh my God, that was making me.
Ooh, y'all was pissing me off. Like, why did that? Where's the father? Like, y'all be.
He is an amazing father, so it was making me
He
mad.
was
Like,
such a great
got
dad.
all his bills at his house. She has her own room and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he has all his bills at his house. He's trying to take care of everything. He can't take care of my whole household, but people are thinking that we're in the same household, so they begin to drag him. And I was like, you know what? I've been lying about this, us being together. A lot of it was I didn't want people to know I lived at home with Bean. It was dangerous, even though her dad does pretty much live next door. And then I felt stupid because I'm going into 40 and I'm a baby's mother. Like, I waited all this time to have a baby and still end up, because a baby's mother anyway. And that shit was hard for me.
And I had told you from the beginning. I was like, I don't know what makes you think you're going to be better than all the fucking rest of us. Like, nigga, you're going to be a baby mama.
And so,
trust me, you don't like the dude. Like, they couldn't stand each other. I was like, dog, y'all had a baby. And it was like, wait, calm down. Like, look at me. I don't like her bothering Bean. I'm like, wait, you got to relax.
You have a seat. You're doing the most.
Say I'm two.
And,
like, Bean will be 3 in a couple weeks, by the way. Sheesh.
That was a big
Why she looked up
just
like
getting that because and then a lot of people thought he left me because I got sick in the hospital. They was like, he ran off and left. I was like, that's not what happened. I've been lying to everybody. Okay. So that was the first
all of that was a let go. It was just the power of the let go. And that's basically what God needed you to do from the beginning.
And then and you're right. So I write the help. I'm okay with it. When I tell you, I sat there and cried. So I put my Cash App up, and everybody, even Tony, in the midst of everything he's going through, that's my brother. I love Tony Baker to death. That he even is contributing. All these people, and then I'm looking at some of these Cash Apps, $4, $3. That felt like $1 million because these people had nothing, and they wanted to help me and give me some of their last, and that. Like, just watching all this, and I'm getting all these stories that people are like, your postpartum depression journey and all these things, and you've always been so encouraging. And when I was at my lowest, you lifted me up. Like, I'm getting all these stories. I was at an audition and you walked up to me and was like, you're gonna kill it, and I went in there and killed it. And like, people are sending me stuff, and I'm talking about, I'm getting air purifiers, I'm food, because now and mind you, once I get home, I can't cook for months because I can't go in the kitchen with my stuff on. People are, even
with
in
your
the
oxygen,
hospital,
you couldn't turn on the gas. I remember that.
Some of the best wings in the world. You guys gotta look up. She's bringing me food to the hospital. Alan's bringing me food. Like, Charlie, people are bringing food up to the hospital because you guys are at a memorial. And Keisha was like, I gotta go take Kanisha some food to the hospital.
I remember that. She was like, she said she wanted a vegan hot dog. I was like, Lord. She said,
Lord.
where can I get her a vegan hot dog, Joncea? I said, Lord, why did this girl want a vegan hot dog?
It was a chili dog. But just watching how many people came and how many people were waking up and praying with me, how many people were sending me full prayers. I felt all those prayers. I felt this energy, and it was nonstop. It wasn't a couple people just checking in. So now I'm feeling all these things, and God is like, you have to release everything. And the word help was instrumental in everything, because then my dad calls, and I'm telling him, you weren't there to help me. And this word help is just like vomiting out of my mouth. Like, you were not here to help me with anything. You didn't help. And I just, like, he's explaining his story, so many things we never talked about. And I was healed in that moment with him, because I believed when he said, because a lot of people be like that, just say, he was like, if I could do it all over, I would be there and I would have helped you. And in that moment, I believed him. And I was like, I love who I am as a person. I knew I had to go through everything I went through to be here, but I would have liked to not have that option, to have to be made the way that I was made to be me.
Yeah.
And he really, you know what I'm saying? And I could tell that, he's trying not to cry because he in the Fed, so he's not trying to look all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I think I'm done for the day. I lay down, and here go God. It's time to call your mom. Now, mind you, my mom is very sensitive, so I shielded a lot of things from her to protect her feelings.
Yeah.
And at this point, God's like, you can't protect nobody else no more.
Wow.
So I begin to call my mom, and and the look on my mother's face. And by the end of it, she was like, if you never talk to me again, I understand. And I was like, that's not why. I didn't call to make you feel guilty. I didn't call. But these are the things that happened to me that you didn't know about. And my mom, who is very sweet, goes, would you want me to have him killed? And my mom's dead ass serious. And she's talking about her stimulus money, because you can get somebody killed for $1,400. She's saving that money for a couch. And she was like, do you? And I was like, Mom, no. No, first she goes, well, do you want me to call the police? I'm like, Mom, it's hella years later. That's not about to happen.
Mom, I was 6.
And then she goes, do you want me
36.
to have him killed? And then she thinks it's over. And then I have to tell her the rest. And then I have to tell her about her children. And then and my mom, but for me, I've been protecting. I'm getting all this out. So I'm just getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And then other people are calling. And then somehow, some way, God comes into me and makes me a minister to people. Look, no, see, the voice is coming back. Let me tell you something.
Now
For 2 weeks.
T.D. Jakes. Like that.
But I was.
I
the
remember.
next couple of weeks, God had me up ministering people that had.
Hey! Come here, B. Come here, baby.
People that don't have, she got a whatchamacallit. She's just embarrassed.
Come here.
People are calling me, and they think they're calling me to check on me, and they're really calling for, it was crazy, like Stevie J, all these people are calling, and they were like, every time it happened, because mind you, I could barely talk, but every time it happened, because we went through, we had, you've experienced it firsthand, my voice would get like this pastory youth, it was so weird. And my lungs would fill up with all this air. I was able to say what I needed to say, and then immediately couldn't talk no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a crazy experience. And these people were calling, thinking they were checking on me, and all of a sudden, it turned into this ministering. And I was healing a lot of people, and it was like nonstop. My phone, to where my sister, who is a spiritual guide for me, she was like, you have to stop. You have to rest. I was up 4 days at this point.
Wow.
No sleep, no nothing, ministering to people. And it was crazy because me and you had this situation, and you was like, and I didn't even know that I could do those things.
Oh, girl, when I thought, because one of my nephews that I gave COVID to got really sick.
Yes. And
I was scared. By this time, Nick was gone. Serene was gone.
Not yet.
Okay.
A couple days later.
So my nephew, COVID made my nephew's sugar shoot up to 800. And he didn't know it. he had been over COVID, but he was feeling like sluggish and all that. Ended up going to the hospital, and they had to keep him. And remember, I was like, oh my God, I was super weak.
Because you had already been, you know what I'm saying, taking care of everything. Your niece called. She was in shambles because at this point, it wasn't just he was sick. They thought everybody was saying he was like
he was gonna die. He was gonna die. I remember that. Oh my God.
He was gonna die. Because this is what spiraled me with this was like the first time it had happened. Nobody had got the minister. The first time was with you. And I'm telling you, I could barely talk. I had no energy. And Joncea was like, just keep talking. I need to know what's this. Just keep talking.
You was like, oh, he's not going to die. I know my God. Like, your words was like, oh, I know God. He is not going to kill him. God saved my life. He is in D.C. with black doctors, this and that, this and that. And I just was like, talk, please. And I'm on the way to Carmen's house.
Yep.
Because it took me 3 or 4 days to even get up enough gear to even go see her because I was so messed up. And I remember, and I was just like, just keep talking because I'm afraid. I was like, I don't know what in the heck would happen if these girls lose their dad because of me. And it was so.
I had never heard you that empty and that weak in my entire life. Like you were diminished. You had nothing left. And I never seen you not have, because you fill everybody else up. You're the one that always pours into me. You fill everybody else up, everybody around you, no matter what you're going through. I had never heard you just depleted like that. And it was crazy because at this point, I have nothing to give, and now I have everything. And I remember I'm standing up, and I haven't stood up. I'm pacing back and forth, and I have this voice, and I'm like, why would God is only giving me this air to tell you this? Because I have no air.
Yeah, because you can barely talk. I remember.
It was like an hour and a half of just going and going. He's going to be fine. I was just there. This is what they're going to do. And I'm just giving you all the stuff, and I'm just ministering.
And you really literally gave me my faith back in that moment. Like, you was really pouring, and I remember just saying, man, God, whoa, who is this chick?
It wasn't me. I'm telling you, it was God speaking through me, because it was a whole nother voice. It was a whole nother. And then when we were done, I fell out. I couldn't even walk again. I still couldn't breathe again. And it would only happen, just like it happened there, when people would call me, and it was like God was telling me to tell them everything he wanted me to say, and then would snatch my air right back. Even when we got on live, people can go see it, because you can hear that voice. It's not even my voice. It was just, it was crazy. And we got on the live, and then it just came out. And then when it was done, it was the wildest experience. But let me tell you something. I have never felt peace in 40 years. The peace that I felt after that whole experience, because you were like, damn, you're just a whole different person. It was just pure peace. God had brought me to a whole nother place, the spiritual transformation, and it was just awesome to
And I think the last thing, and we're going to talk about this because we're about to be over our time, but I think the last thing was your hair.
Whew, my God.
People don't know why you were crying. You have to explain to everybody why those tears, like.
So, a lot of people don't know, 3 months post-COVID, most people start to lose their hair. And it's something that really isn't talked about. So it started coming out in bald patches and chunks, and we're doing everything to save it. You put a weave in, and the first time you actually seen it, you were crying because you were like, yo, what happened?
I remember before that, it was just coming out, and I was like, well, maybe it's just a little shedding. And I was trying to put things on it to add moisture to it so it wouldn't shed. And you're like, yo, it's still shedding, you know?
Yeah.
And
I put the post on Facebook like, yo, my hair's falling out from COVID. I got over 200 DMs of women, hair gone. I had to cut my hair off. One girl started a hat line. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. The comments, vaxxed or unvaxxed, the comments, oh, my hair, what do I do? A lot of people thought they were sick from something else. Remember, the one girl was like, I thought I was sick from this. I didn't know it was because I had COVID, because nobody was talking about it. So a lot of people found out, because I was so open about it,
right, what
was going on and what to do. And people are naming products and sending me stuff. And then by the time we got to the point, and you kept telling me, Kanisha, you have to cut this hair off. And I'm like, I can't cut it off. And what you have to understand, for me and growing up, my hair was everything. My hair, that, from men love long hair to, being mixed and coming up in the 80s, it's like, oh, God, your hair is everything. We put so much value. My family, we put value on our hair. And women, your hair is your glorious everything. But for me, losing my hair, it was my identity. Like, it was a big part of my identity. So
that was like losing a hand on some real stuff.
It was traumatic to be losing my hair, because I'm like, what do I have? Like, I have this small head and a big body. Like, what the?
You didn't understand. You're like, I just said I'm too big. And I'm like, Kanisha, I don't know what you are, but this hair gotta go. Like, this hair, This hair, and in the physical realm, I knew the hair had to go in order for it to grow back. But in the spiritual realm, God knew something else different had to go. And that was like your last thing of the let go for you to find who you are now. Like, truly, when I cut it, because I was the hairstylist that don't even give. If you come in there playing with me, talking about, yeah, girl, just cut it off because.
You start doing it. So even the people in the comments was like, she's hella mean to this. Some people was like, nah, you got to have friends like that. Like, they were torn because I'm talking to you. You don't say march, you just say go. You don't say nothing. It was just,
it was like, laughing. Look, because I know what I'm doing. So I'm like, look, okay, these 3 strands got to go. Because you had literally probably about 46 strands.
I know, but when you hit that first cut, I went from into shambles. Because now it's real. Like, it's not real until it's
I'm sorry for laughing, but you were so fucked up.
I was crying and laughing at the same time.
You was gone. You was laughing because it was really traumatic. You were laughing because it was funny, but for real, you was done.
Oh, I was.
You was crying. You were like, oh, no, for real. Like, oh, shoot, this is it. Like, this is who, everything that I am is gone. Yeah. But what it was everything that you needed to let go got cut off that day.
The rest of it,
that was it. That was what God was like really showing you that beauty ain't your hair. Beauty ain't your clothes. Beauty ain't your face. Beauty is your spirit. Beauty is your God that's inside of you. Beauty is who you are from the inside out. And my mom used to tell me that all the time. And then my brothers used to say, that's just what they do, ugly people. Like, and I would just be like, oh my God, am I ugly? My mom say, you have such a beautiful spirit. You know, and these are the confidence that she put in me when I was younger. Like, made me who I am today. But it really was just you needing to know who you really are. Yeah. And that cut, I knew the cut was going to be banging on you because this is what I did my whole entire life. I was a hairstylist since I was 12. Like, literally doing hair, making money at 12. So I knew the cut was going to be fine on you. I knew your face was like, I wouldn't do something that I didn't think would look right. And you literally was like, oh my God. Like, when the cameras went off, she was just like, oh my God, this is the worst. I'm going to hate this, and that. And then all of a sudden, it was like, pow.
Yeah. You couldn't tell me nothing.
First of all, y'all, when I finally convinced her to dye her ends red for
my signature look
70 straight days, she would call every day and be like, yeah, because my signature look, her new signature look with her red, I say that shit one more time. I get it. Because her and my mom are the same way. They don't like change at all. Okay? I changed. I just found this little nappy wig. I was like, ooh, a ponytail. I made this, I don't know how long ago. I changed the wig I'll show y'all my real wig. I don't give a fuck, you know. I'm here for change. Yeah. Kanisha's not here for change at all. So she has to reinnovate it to you. Like, don't be trying to change me. Yeah. Don't be trying to change. What happened? Oh, you got to hit skip ad. Bow. Right there. Had to put Peppa Pig on for her, you know.
That little pig is bad as hell. You should have told me. I'm
Kanisha and Irvin's baby mama. So yes. I know how to take care of Bean, too.
We be talking to her like me and him ain't talking to each other. Like, yeah, so when you see her.
I know, oh, my God. I'm really their baby mama. They be talking to each other through me. Like, let him know. And I just be like, Kanisha said. Say, look. But that haircut is fire.
I am loving the haircut. I am loving the haircut.
I see how you put a little bit of
a little swoop. I've been playing.
You
be
trying to figure away with yourself because I told Kanisha I can't do figure ways. I was like, I don't know how to do it. So I'll be lying, but I'm telling you the reason why is because she'll keep on making me. She just be lunching sometimes. So I'm like, girl, I don't know how to do that type of stuff because I just want her to chill out for a second with this hairdo. But the hairdo is fire.
Thank you.
We as a community are all loving.
You told me everybody called you was like, don't let her grow her hair
back. You should see my inbox. Make sure tell Kanisha she should keep that hairdo. Like, she should not grow that back. But it looks amazing. And you could just tell your confidence. Yeah. Seriously, though. Once it was cut, you could just tell.
It was letting go of the rest of the sickness as well, too. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like everything that I went through, because a lot of people don't understand when I say, and I don't tell too many people because it sounds crazy, that I'm very thankful that I got COVID. Mm-hmm. and it's wild to hear because of how sick I was and everything that I'm still going through. But I wouldn't be where I'm at today, mentally, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And I kept telling you, Bean had an awesome mom, but she's coming home to a better mom. I said that a lot when I was waiting for her to come home.
You did say that.
I said she's coming. I was already a good mom, but she's coming back to the best mom she could have. Um, and it taught me a lot about myself. It helped me face demons and things that I would have never.
And your drinking like cut down like everything. Tremendously.
From the drinking to the part, like a lot of stuff for me has been put in perspective. I was a very uptight, like very frantic person when things would happen, and that's why a lot of people, like when I went back to the hospital right after I got out of the hospital from COVID, before I went back the third time, I went right back because my heart was pulling like the next day after I got sent home, and that's how I ended up on steroids and everything else. And remember, I had put the tweet and I had to go back and redo it, and I was like, I'm at peace, People thought that I was ready to die, and that's Nate called, like he was just like, what is going, you're talking about you're at peace, and my best friend is calling me screaming over the phone, and everybody, because they were so disturbed by my level of peace that they've never seen in 40 years. Yeah. Nobody has seen me at this level of peace, that people thought I had just given up and was dying, but they didn't understand that I was giving up this fight of the mental war, going whatever God, whatever is going to happen.
You had given up? Control.
I give up.
Remember, that was the big word we talked about the whole time you were fighting. And that is like, I'm telling y'all, that's like the thing with me and my friends. We're like, you got to let go. You have to give up control. If you want anything in this world, period, you got to let God control it.
You do.
And it was a thing where you literally, the hair was it. That was the last of your control. You couldn't control anything. You couldn't, imagine you cannot wear a ponytail no more.
I know.
It
was everything. Everything. A lot of people don't know too, that I talked about when, and that I'm going to see if I can refresh it so people can go to it. I've been bulimic since I was 17.
Wow.
And my sister was always telling me it's a control thing, because she was like, your bulimic gets bad when you can't control the things around you. So that's what you can control. So all these things were being healed with me. And that's why, like, when people are like, damn, you're always getting work done on your teeth. Well, when you're bulimic, your teeth get messed up because of the acid and everything. So a lot of people don't even know that's what, was really going on with me even on that point. So when I say this journey healed me, and COVID and having the spiritual, it healed so many things, even made the relationship with her dad better, because I would still be, and I'm like, whatever it is, God, I'm going to let you. And that is very hard to not still be trying to put that fight in and be like, you know what, I'm going to just be at peace with it, whatever it is, God. If this is it, then this is it. If this is that, this is that. And I'm not going to keep fighting with it. And I was always fighting with it. It wasn't that I didn't trust God and didn't have faith, but I was always putting my input in on top of the faith. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's control. Yeah. You're like, God, I trust you're going to do it, but for real, I don't. So let me do this. You know what I'm saying? And it's still like that. And me and my friends talk about how this is an everyday battle for all of us. I even put on this shirt. Because, like, my friend Maya got this for me, because this is, like, one of my sayings, it's okay for everything not to be okay.
And that's hard for me.
And that is, like, one of the things that you have to daily remind yourself. And I say that to every single person. It is okay for everything not to be okay. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means that right now, everything ain't okay. But in God's eyes, he sits on the throne, and he knows everything is fine. And that's a daily reminder of what we have to do for ourselves. I mean, when I say daily, people think I'm just like super spiritual, whatever, y'all. And I appreciate all that. But no, every single day I have to say, you know what, Joncea, there is a God who has control of this. There is a God that's going to, because I'm talking about a person that watched my mom have cancer 3 times and beat it all 3 times with a level of faith that's like through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So I understand faith. I understand all of that. But to the magnitude of, let me see how I can explain this. I love watching God through people. I love watching him here on earth. And he constantly puts me around people where I can see him, and vice versa through me. You know what I'm saying? And that was one experience where it was magnificent just to see God transform you into this more beautiful light. You were already a great, beautiful person, but a more beautiful light. Don't, you're not getting down. I see you trying to be slick. Scoot it on back over. But just a better person. So I didn't get to none of these questions, but I do want to
And before you ask that, I just want to tell you this. It's so much stuff not okay with me right now, but I'm just Like that, it's okay not to be okay. That's where I'm at right now. A lot of stuff is not okay for me right now. So, but I'm just like,
But it's just it is though. It is. Like I said, it's a constant reminder. You have to. All you got to do is just think back to then.
Yeah.
Like God could have. You could have died.
Yeah.
You could. You not only you could. You should have.
Yeah.
All the things that you went through with COVID, you should have died. And God is like, no, that's not what the plan was.
Yeah.
The plan was to help you heal all of the thousands of people that you healed, that you helped heal, that watch us on a daily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that really admire us, that have no idea the things that go on behind closed doors. Just no idea of how tough it is. I mean, you still are like trying to financially get back from then. And you okay, Bean? You just mad you got to sit there?
People are stepping in, people sending food for her because my God, I don't know how I'm making it day to day. Question though.
Everybody about to see you on camera cry.
What happened?
She was mad she had to sit still.
Oh, my sweet girl.
Oh, Bean. She was mad.
What's that? What's that? Do you hear that? What is that?
Do Bean, you know how many people watching you right now?
Do you want to say hi? You want my apple guy?
Hold on, let me call her dad.
She's calling daddy.
Let me call here. You want to talk to Urban? Here. Here, talk. Talk to him. Here. All right, y'all. We gonna end it.
I was gonna say, ask me one of those questions you wanted to ask before.
No, actually, my first question was, what did you think was gonna happen? But you basically did you think you were gonna die?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wanted to at one point, but yes.
Okay. Cool. Did it make you and Bean's father closer?
Hell no.
Okay.
He was the one who gave us all COVID. I just want to put that out there. Because he went to a party with no mask on because he's Mr. Invincible. But he's an amazing father.
You're right. Okay. These are the questions I had. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully skinnier. Still with this short haircut because I am not. This is my going in the 40s look, so it will not be my signature look. By the way.
Oh Jesus, that's her way of telling me that this is the way she wants to keep her hair.
Okay. In 5 years, it's crazy because I should be planning it, but I'm still mentally going through a lot. And I'm looking for it right now. Like I know we're supposed to plan. I know, but so much stuff happened to me and so much stuff is unexpected.
And you're such a planner. So to say that you want to live for today is big for you.
It's very big for me because I'm always for tomorrow. And I'm in a space right now where, I should be thinking about it, but I'm just so thankful for each moment that right now I'm just living in the now. And whatever happens in 5 years is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And whatever in 5 years is going to happen. And by the grace of God, I will be there in 5 years. And that's all I can ask for and think about.
Wow. So what do you, if you had to tell the audience one thing, what would you tell them?
Plan B don't always work. No, just like if I could tell the audience one thing, man, love yourself. Honestly, health is self-love. Health is really self-love. There's a lot of people, God, I just health, and I got to get back on that too because that's a big thing. But God, it's so many things. Like, what is the one thing that I could really say is really trust in God and trust in the outcome, and even if it's not the outcome that you want it to be, that's what it's going to be. I'm so fearful. I live in, I'd be so fearful of so many things, and I've been able to let that go. It's like, what's going to be is going to be. You do your best to get what you want, but just know what God has for you is greater. So you might be disappointed in a door being shut or something not going that way, or even a sickness or something happening, not knowing what's on that other side is so much greater, because I was like, why me? Why am I the only one who's so messed up? Why am I dying like this? And everybody around me got so much better. But if I didn't get that sick, I wouldn't be this healed on so many levels. So I had to go through the worst. That was the worst time of my life. That was the worst time of my life to get to where I'm going to. This is a better time, and it's just going to keep getting better. So just trust in the process of whatever it is, good and bad.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, guys. Just trust in the process. Yeah. Trust in God. Just trust in yourself, and just believe that everything is going to be amazing.
Do that, because I gave the front office at my building a note that was like, I believe God is going to give you the rest of this rent. And I put it in, was like, hey, and
did he do it?
Happens. I got booked for a show. In the Bay, I got booked for a couple shows, and then they kept adding shows. So when I get back, I'll be able to give them that and that's what happened right after that. Those shows.
See, it's called the power to let go. When you let go, and I honestly, I did the same thing. Because I really want them to understand the power of letting go. God had told me to do something with $300 for one of my friends, and I didn't because I needed the $300 for this new car I had just bought and all of these things. And God was like, I need you to do what I tell you. And it's a scripture in the Bible that says obedience is better than sacrifice. I need you just to be obedient because the sacrifice is mine. I've already sacrificed. You don't have to do that. You just have to do what I say. And the closer you are to God, the easier it is for you to hear. And that's basically what happened. I did what God said, and then boom, I got a show. I mean, boom, I'm on set making back. I mean, he just does it. He does it when we let go. Right, Beanie B? Say bye to all of our friends. You beefing with me? Yeah, how you beefing with me and I gave you my phone to watch Peppa Pig? You beefing with me because I made you sit down right here? You was trying to slide out and I called you out. What's the beef? Tell me the beef.
You gonna say something to Auntie? She's a cold piece of work.
She is so fun. It's so funny to me. She's such an Aries. But I tell Bean this every day. You're new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not afraid of you, Bean. So now look. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the Joncea show with Kanisha, COVID.
You gonna say bye?
I appreciate you guys tuning in every week. I see all you guys on the chat. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. Shout out to all y'all in the chat. I really ain't gonna hold you. I put down my other phone. I can't see y'all names, but I appreciate y'all. I'm about to go in the chat right now, so stay in the chat room. We're gonna talk it up in the chat room. Stay here. If you're not in the chat room, come on, join us in the chat room right fast. Thank you, Kanisha.
Thanks for having me, and thank you for being there. Like, you were the foundation for all this for me. Like, and you already know that. And we would have not have made it without you. I don't know what we would have done without you. Like, what would have happened if we didn't have you? And we gave you COVID, and you still came back on the plane to take care of us, which is beyond me because I'd have been hot. I'm not even like, nah, man.
Kanisha called me one day though, a couple of weeks ago. It was like, yeah, me and Bean got a cold. Come on over. I said. She was like, no, it's just a little cold. I said, I ain't coming over there.
Because last time I did get my whole family.
Last time I came over your house when you and B had a little cold, and they didn't have COVID. They did have a little sniffle. I said, it did not turn out how I bet. I said, I'll be there in about 2 weeks when I make sure y'all clear everything up.
You did, but we couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have not have got the COVID without you, spiritually, emotionally, I mean, everything. And to know when you're sick like that, and to know somebody that loves your daughter as much as you do has her, that took a lot of stress off of me. And knowing that Irvin needed help, because he has his own businesses, so he has to, his time is, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, we would have not have gotten through it, but I wouldn't have been able to rest. I never was worried about her. And that is a big thing, because a lot of mothers didn't have nobody to watch over their kids when they were in the hospital.
And Kanisha don't let nobody watch her kid, by the way.
Nobody. This is the first time Bean Bean don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised because I don't think I ever watched Bean before that.
No, it was one time I left y'all in the bed and I snuck out. Like, we all fell asleep because my bed is a sunken place, and I woke up. I was like, and dipped and left y'all there. I was out.
I did wake up one time and I was like, "Where's your mother?"
Gone hours.
I don't lay in Kanisha's bed. Mm-hmm. Her bed is weird. It's so comfortable that you immediately go to sleep. I've seen grown ass men asleep in this bed that just came to visit, like, or come to game night or something. Yeah. If you lay in that bed, it takes you completely out. But we way over time. We way over time.
Thank you for this.
Bye, guys. Love you guys. Thank you, Nick. As always, you are the best.
One of my favorite shows. So thank you, Joncea. Another tearjerker, y'all. Another tearjerker.
See.